Have you ever wondered what happens when a child asks one of the biggest influencers in the world about something as deep and meaningful as religion? Well, that's exactly what happened one sunny afternoon at a charity event hosted by none other than MrBeast. This little girl, no older than 7, walked up to him with wide eyes full of curiosity. She had just one question, something many adults might find hard to explain, but MrBeast didn't hesitate for a second. What he said next wasn't just an answer, it was a lesson that touched the hearts of everyone who heard it. But before I tell you what she asked and how he responded, let me set the scene. This story isn't just about a random encounter, it's about kindness, understanding, and finding common ground even when people seem different from us. The day started like any other for MrBeast. He was at one of his famous charity events, a massive gathering filled with laughter, excitement, and endless energy. Kids were running around, families were smiling, and volunteers were busy handing out free meals and gifts. It was the kind of event that made you believe in humanity again. In the middle of all this, there she was, a tiny girl wearing a bright yellow dress and holding a stuffed bunny. Her name was Lily. She looked nervous but determined as she tugged on her mom's sleeve, pointing toward MrBeast. "Mommy, can I ask him something?" she whispered. Her mom smiled and nodded, giving her a gentle push forward. Slowly, Lily walked up to MrBeast, who was busy talking to a group of kids. When he saw her standing there quietly, clutching her bunny, he immediately knelt down so they could be eye to eye. "Hey there," he said warmly. "What's your name?" "Lily," she replied softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "Well, Lily, it's really nice to meet you. Do you want to tell me why you came over here?" She hesitated for a moment, then blurted out, "I wanted to ask, what do you think about Judaism?" For a brief second, the noise around them seemed to fade away. People nearby turned their heads, curious about how MrBeast would respond. After all, he's known for being generous and kind, but this wasn't a question anyone expected from a child. Instead of brushing it off or giving a quick answer, MrBeast leaned back slightly, thinking carefully about his words. Then, with a smile that lit up the entire room, he began to speak. "But before I tell you exactly what he said, let me explain why this moment mattered so much, not just to Lily, but to everyone watching. You see, Lily wasn't asking because she needed a textbook definition, she was asking because she wanted to understand. And sometimes understanding is the hardest thing to find in a world full of differences." What happened next changed the way people looked at both MrBeast and the power of simple conversations. But first, let's talk about why Lily even asked this question in the first place. To understand why Lily asked such a big question, you need to know a little bit about her life. Lily came from a family that celebrated their Jewish heritage proudly. Every Friday evening, her house would fill with the smell of fresh challah bread, and the soft glow of candlelight made everything feel warm and safe. Her parents taught her stories about kindness, resilience, and faith, lessons she carried close to her heart. But lately, things had been different for Lily. At school, some kids didn't understand why she wore a Star of David necklace or why her holidays weren't the same as theirs. They'd ask questions like, "Why don't you celebrate Christmas?" or "What does your star mean?" Most of the time, Lily could brush it off with a smile, but sometimes, those questions felt harder to answer. She wanted to share her culture with others, but she wasn't sure how. That's why seeing MrBeast at the event felt special to her. To Lily, he wasn't just someone famous, he was someone who brought people together, someone who showed the world what kindness looked like. If anyone could help her explain Judaism in a way that made sense, she thought it would be him. So when she finally worked up the courage to ask, "What do you think about Judaism?" she wasn't looking for facts or history, she was searching for connection, for proof that being different didn't have to divide people. MrBeast paused for a moment, his expression thoughtful, then in his calm and steady voice, he began to speak. "Lily," he said, "I think Judaism is amazing. It's not just about traditions or holidays, it's about values, things like taking care of others, standing up for what's right, and always trying to make the world better. Those are lessons everyone can learn from, no matter who they are." He leaned closer, making sure she understood every word. "You know, I've met so many incredible people in my life, and some of them are Jewish. What makes them stand out isn't just their beliefs. It's how they treat other people. They show kindness, respect, and love, even when it's hard. And honestly, that's something we should all try to do more often. By now, the crowd around them had gone silent. Parents held their breaths, kids stopped playing, and volunteers paused mid-task, all of them listening intently. Lily's eyes widened as she processed what he was saying. For the first time, she realized that her identity wasn't something to defend, it was something to celebrate. But MrBeast wasn't done yet. He added one final thought that left everyone speechless. You know, Lily, he continued, the world would be a much better place if we focused less on what makes us different, and more on what brings us together. Your faith teaches you to care for others, and that's something the whole world needs right now. For a moment, no one moved. The air seemed heavy with emotion. Then Lily did something unexpected. She threw her arms around MrBeast in a tight hug, tears streaming down her face. I didn't know you'd say that, she whispered. Thank you, and just like that, the entire room erupted into applause. Strangers hugged each other, parents wiped away tears, and kids cheered like they'd just witnessed something magical, because in a way, they had. But here's the thing. This moment wasn't just about Lily or MrBeast, it was about all of us. About learning to see past our differences, and finding beauty in the things that unite us. Still, there's one part of this story that hasn't been told yet, the ripple effect of what happened next. Because sometimes, the smallest moments create the biggest changes. After Lily hugged MrBeast, something incredible happened, something no one could have predicted. As she stepped back, clutching her bunny and wiping her tears, a woman in the crowd raised her hand. Can I say something? She asked softly. Everyone turned to look at her. She was holding a young boy by the hand, and she looked nervous but determined. I'm Muslim, she began, and I want to thank you both for showing us that it's okay to talk about our faiths, for reminding us that we're more alike than we are different. Her words sparked a chain reaction. Another person spoke up, then another, until the entire crowd joined in. A man shared how his Christian faith taught him forgiveness. A teenager talked about learning compassion through Buddhism. Even someone who didn't follow any religion chimed in, saying, I don't believe in God, but I believe in kindness, and that's what connects all of us. It was as if MrBeast's answer had unlocked something inside everyone there, a desire to share, to listen, and to understand. The event transformed from a charity gathering into a celebration of humanity itself. Lily stood quietly during all of this, soaking it in. Her mom knelt beside her and whispered, See, you started something amazing today. Later, when MrBeast posted a short clip of the moment online, it went viral almost instantly. Millions of people watched, commented, and shared their own stories. Some talked about overcoming prejudice. Others thanked MrBeast for setting an example of empathy and understanding. One commenter wrote, In a world that feels so divided, this gave me hope. But here's the twist. The story doesn't end there. Weeks later, Lily's school held a cultural fair, and guess who was chosen to give the opening speech? That's right, Lily herself. Standing in front of her classmates, teachers and parents, she told them everything that had happened at the charity event. I used to think my faith made me different, she said. Her voice steady now, but MrBeast helped me see that being different isn't bad. It's beautiful, and maybe, just maybe, we can all learn from each other, instead of being afraid. The audience erupted into applause, and this time, Lily didn't cry. She smiled, a wide, proud smile that lit up the entire room. Now, here's the question I want you to think about. What happens next? Does Lily grow up to become a leader, spreading messages of unity wherever she goes, or does this moment inspire others to take similar steps in their own lives? We may never know exactly how far the ripple effect reaches, but one thing is certain, sometimes, the simplest questions lead to the most profound answers, and sometimes, those answers change the world in ways we can't even imagine. Stories like Lily's remind us of something powerful, that kindness has no boundaries. Whether it's through faith, culture, or simply the way we treat each other, every single one of us has the power to make someone feel seen, heard, and valued. But here's the thing, this isn't just Lily's story. It's our story. Each of us carries pieces of who we are, And when we share those pieces, we create connections that can change lives. So, I want to ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where someone helped you see your differences as strengths? Or maybe you've been the person helping someone else realize their worth. If so, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. And if this video touched your heart, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Because trust me, there's nothing more beautiful than watching people come together in understanding and love. Before you go, I have one last question for you. What do you think makes the world a better place? Is it acts of kindness, listening to others, celebrating diversity? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. Oh, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. We'll be sharing more incredible true stories about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and remember, every small act of kindness matters. Until next time, take care.